Well, hi everyone. We are here with Miss Katrina Freeman today. How are you doing, Katrina?
I'm okay.
That's good. I'm sorry. Apologize for our little tardiness there. We had some unexpected business going on there, but we are here right now with Miss Katrina. And so, how's everything going, Katrina, with you? Everything going good in New York?
Um, so.
Okay. Well, that's good. We are praying for each other that everybody continues to succeed in whatever's going on in our lives. We understand. Um, so there's a topic that you want to talk about today that's you want people to know about. It's informational and it's personal topic about some things. So I'm gonna turn it over to you and see what is it that we're going to speak about today.
Okay, so London, first, I would like to thank you for letting me use your platform to bring this very important. It's important to me, and I'm very passionate about the topic that I want to bring awareness to. It's about psychiatrists treating substance abusers as schizophrenics. That I want to discuss this topic, and if it happened, and if in case it has happened to others, I want to bring awareness to that if you are a substance abuser, that and you go to the doctor and you're not properly evaluated, to find out where those symptoms, those schizophrenic symptoms, how they came about within you, is not a proper diagnosis. I like in 1997, I never been to a. I mean, I've I've been to a psychiatrist, but let's just say I've never been to a psychiatrist before for what was going on with me. In 97, I went to see a doctor, and I told him that I was experiencing hallucinations and hearing voices. And then right away, he told me I was a paranoid schizophrenic. And I carried that label for many years. I think I carried the label for like from 97 to I believe it was 2018. But anyway, let me just tell you, when I first went to the doctor, that's what he told me. Then, as I talk to people, you are supposed to be evaluated. He's not just supposed to say, he's supposed to, examine, he's supposed to figure out how those symptoms came about. So what I'm saying is that in 2010, I went to a program, Alcoholic Anonymous. I wasn't being that I was on so much psychiatric medication, I wasn't able to comprehend the knowledge that the program was giving me. Like they have a big book in Alcoholics Anonymous, and it tells you where these symptoms come from. It tells you what for centuries what was going on and what was happening to substance abusers. I'm going to speak, for centuries, for hundreds and hundreds of years, I was on so much psychiatric medication, I wasn't able to comprehend. But since I was on every psychiatric medication that New York City state Medicaid paid for from 1997 to 2018, it dawned on me like, hey, none of these psychiatric medications are working, so you might as well stop taking them. I was complaining and complaining, but first, let me just go back to this. I'm trying to do in the book of Alcoholic Anonymous, I discovered it was these two men. The program is 86 years old. They discovered that getting together and talking about, I mean, it was another program before that, but they copied it, talking about, you know, their problems could alleviate their substance, their abuse of, you know, substance. So what was going on, like I said, for hundreds of years, so doctors already knew that if you are a substance abuser, they already knew. I believe it's common sense that every psychiatrist that you see and you go to the doctor, they are, since they knew for hundreds of years, even farther than hundreds of years, that this is what happens to drug addicts and alcoholics. They get these schizophrenic syndromes, and they didn't know what to do with us. So they would put us in the hospital, and the symptoms would keep on going and going and going. They couldn't do nothing. So for a doctor to treat a substance abuser as a schizophrenic, I believe it should be illegal. I believe it's illegal because like I said, when you see a psychiatrist and you having any kind of symptoms like bipolar, depression, any kind of symptoms, you should be evaluated to see where these symptoms, how did these symptoms come about. That did not happen to me. And when I discovered that doctor was treating me as a schizophrenic for all them years, I was outraged. I did not know what to do. So, and then after that, within that hospital.
Let me ask you a question. So the question is, if someone is going through, like, you know, going through therapy, or they're going to the doctor, how are they what are the procedures for them to actually really be definitely sure that whether somebody is schizophrenic or not? Because you said they didn't do the test for you. So do you know exactly what they are supposed to do? Just in case somebody is listening, what are the proper medical procedures? Or what kind of tests are you supposed to have? Or did you say that you weren't even tested?
I wasn't. What happened in 2020? I went. Something told me to change. All right, in 2020. All right, in 2017, I stopped seeing that doctor, and then I seen other doctors, and they didn't even evaluate me. They just accepted the diagnosis. But I went in 2020. I decided to go to another clinic, and they refused to treat me as a schizophrenic without an evaluation. I could not see their psychiatrist without being evaluated. Okay, so they evaluated me, and they said to me, we don't see you as a schizophrenic. What they diagnosed was I was experiencing drug-induced psychosis.
Wow. Okay.
So the thing is, they refused to treat me as a schizophrenic because that was not and it took me, and you know, it took me all. I went to programs, treatment programs, and nobody evaluated me but this one clinic. And like I said, when you take that psychiatric medication for schizophrenic, this is what happened to me. I believe since I wasn't really a schizophrenic, every psychiatric medication I tried, I was on every last one of them. Every one that Medicaid paid for. I thought I was smart, but I wasn't smart. I just kept saying, listen, doctor, this is not working. This is not working. And then the doctor did not make me aware that if you continue to drink and drug, that those symptoms was going to get worse. So I went through, oh my God, I'm surprised that I'm alive. So it gave me nothing but side effects. So I kept I kept on accepting the side effects because I kept telling myself, okay, 2 months, 3 months, okay, the side effects are gonna go away and the medication is gonna start doing what it's supposed to do for me. I kept telling myself that sometime on medications for 6 months, 6 months. And it just I just thought I was sick. I just thought but I wasn't. I was just abusing.
So you're saying the medication that you was taking actually was making you have schizophrenic bipolar symptoms because of the medication, not that because of the different types of medication that you were taking.
The medication was giving me schizophrenic syndromes. Yes, it was.
Okay.
And then I would go to the doctor, and then they had the nerve. I mean, some doctors had the nerve to tell me it's not a miracle pill. I said, well, when I go to the doctor for high blood pressure, the medication works. It alleviates my high blood pressure. My cholesterol medication works. And like when you were younger and you were taking birth control, you go to the doctor for birth control, it works. So you giving me this psychiatric medication to alleviate these symptoms, and it's not working, and you telling me it's not a miracle pill. Well, it's not doing what it said it was going to do. And the reason why is because I wasn't who they said I was. I lost so many years of my life, embarrassed and humiliated. But I'm the kind of person whoever you tell me I am, I believe who he told me I was, and I was living up to it. And then when I went to see a therapist, she told me in 2020, she said, well, Katrina, if you was a schizophrenic, now this is what she said, they give you psychiatric medication to help you cope with the symptoms, because if you are schizophrenic and you hearing voices, those voices don't never go away. I've been in programs, sitting in programs with people, and I'd be like, how could they live like that? And they would hear voices going, and they would be living their life like that. And I don't know if it's true. And then there's some people that take that use drugs like LSD, angel dust, and stuff like that. They never come back. They turn into a schizophrenic. And some people, once you stop using the drugs, and you don't have them symptoms, that's where it causes them symptoms. And some people that are around substance abusers, they know. Well, I was around people, I didn't have very many people, but the people in my family or the people around me, they never told me what was in their head and what they were experiencing. And a lot of people know, and some people send their relatives to the doctor knowing that that's what the doctor is going to do to them, give them that psychiatric medication for that. A lot of people know. And then there's some people that go to a psychiatrist, they don't even know what to expect from a psychiatrist. The same way you get evaluated and treated for anything, the psychiatrist is supposed to do that to you. I'm outraged that and I've been through so much holy hell from that psychiatric medication. I mean, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I was not able to perform in my field as a cosmetologist. And since the psychiatric medication was messing up my head, I couldn't even go and try I did the best I could. And being that I found the agency that only hired people with disabilities, like physical and mental. And, being that I take care of myself, I experienced so much sexual harassment because those people knew that I was labeled as a mental patient. So they was taking it. Some men was taking advantage of it.
So we're talking about, I heard you mention um, that the families may send their member to the doctor. So it's good that you're giving us information because coming from a standpoint of maybe a family member, let's get this scenario together. And so we can imagine that if the family member is seeing that their family member is experiencing some abnormal attitudes, and they're thinking, I'm sure many of them thinking that, okay, especially like family, like of course family can't do anything about it, like to really help, but the knowledge that you're giving can help. So I imagine people send family members to the doctor. They just say, okay, that's it, that's all they need is send them to the doctor, send them to the psychiatrist or whatever, put them on the meds, and then that's it. um Without you really knowing what the protocol is, which is a good thing. So what you're saying the protocol is, and which people need to know, that when you send your family member or when you go, it would be good to see if you can investigate what is supposed to really happen, the order of what's supposed to happen. So what you're telling us, like all of us out here, we don't know. But because you're on here telling us from your experience what really is supposed to happen, um, you know, that they're supposed to do a line of evaluation to determine what they believe the problem is. And so many people, I do believe when they send their family, they think they're sending them to get help, and then they just that's it. Now I will say something that I remember. One of my family members um, had a family member that had behavior which they felt they couldn't control. So, people do different things for different reasons. In my eyes, I thought that it was a bit too much, but because they couldn't control that person, which was so sad, had issues, the doctor put them on a lot of medication. What they call it, something kinesia, where your body just moves involuntarily because they're getting too much of medication. And I asked my family member, so, I seen that they had their movements was involuntary, which I'm sure probably was hurting their nerves because mouth twitch, nose twitch, certain things move, move, move. And to me, it just looked like they were uncomfortable because it was doing it a lot. So, I said, well, why? What's going on? Well, I couldn't control them. They wouldn't do what I told them to do even if they might have had some issues. So I had the doctor put them on some other medication for me to control them. But at the same time, that person was experiencing something dyskinesia, something. They got a commercial on TV that tells you if you take too much medication, then you get this disease from the medication. Then you got to take medication to deliver you from the medication that you're taking so you can stop twitching, which to me is all controversial in the first place. So I'm glad you're giving this information out because some people, I'm not gonna say taking the easy way out. In that case, to me, it was deliberately done because since I gotta take care of you, and I'm over you, and I gotta control you, and since I can't, when I ask you to do something, or we're talking about a grown person now, we're not talking about a kid, we're talking about another person having control over another adult that possibly has some issues. In my eyes, I didn't see that they should have been taking all that. In my eyes, I didn't see that they had all those issues because I grew up with them. So I knew from the beginning that some of those issues weren't there. Sometimes issues come about according to what you go through, whatever. If you have, some people may have a breakdown. So there's different reason people might suffer. They go to psychiatrists and they still might be misdiagnosed. And so, so I really appreciate the fact that you're talking about this because, you don't hear a lot of people talk about it. And then some people may be suffering and they don't know what's going on. And so with this conversation you're having, perhaps they can look into it, or they can go check and see what's going on to help
Okay.
get them out of the situation. Mm-hmm.
So London, let me I'm so excited.
Oh, wait, it's tardive dyskinesia. It's called tardive dyskinesia. When you take too much medication, it causes your body to lose, involuntary movements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
Some people that use substance, they already know what's causing them to have these symptoms, these schizophrenic symptoms. They know. Some people know that it's the drug.
Okay.
See, I was one of them people that had no idea. I thought somebody had a hex on me. Some people know if they drinking too much, they seeing things and hearing things. And some people know if they popping pills, shooting, they know. I was one of them people. Some people
you didn't know.
Right. So, and there are people that don't have Medicaid and what's going to happen that's on, substance, they're going to send them straight to a psych ward and they're going to tell them that, I've known plenty of people in the fellowship that the doctors told them, that they're using drugs. The doctor told them it was drugs. Some people, it don't happen. It only happened to people. I don't know what kind of people it happened to, but a lot of people in that fellowship, when they went to the psych ward, they seen drugs. They went in there for drugs. I was one of them people that did not know. Okay. I was one of them, but let me tell you something. It's a crime. It's a crime for a doctor to treat a substance abuser as a schizophrenic and continue to treat them like that and don't even tell them. I mean, these doctors knew, London, for many, 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 many years that drugs and alcohol cause schizophrenic syndrome. So when you go to the doctor, if these psychiatrists knew this for many years. If you go there and you experiencing drug induced psychosis, if you on drugs and the doctor treats you as a schizophrenic, it's a crime. It's a crime.
So what you're saying is it's two different things going on there, but you're being mistreated and misdiagnosed, because if someone is a drug user, a drug abuser, or alcohol abuser, where should they go instead of to the psych ward for schizophrenia? What kind of treatment should they get?
Well, first, they should tell the doctor. See, I didn't know that them symptoms was coming from the drugs and alcohol.
Okay.
Most people that use drugs and alcohol, they know that that's causing them. But I was one of the unfortunate people. I had no experience. I didn't, like I said, the people that I did know that was using drugs, they did not tell me they was experiencing, symptoms. They didn't.
Well, listen, I will say, Katrina, there's a lot of people that I believe that's in your shoes that don't know. So those are the people that you are trying to make aware, and not only them, the people with family members or whatever. So there's two different categories for a drug abuser, alcohol abuser. What you're saying is there is specific treatments for that instead of a drug abuser and a alcohol abuser. In other words, you're saying they're getting treatment of someone that may be just having schizophrenic symptoms because of another reason, not due to alcohol, not due to drugs. Someone which we probably can be aware of can be schizophrenic without using a drug. So those persons are the ones that, once diagnosed as a true schizophrenic person, bipolar due to maybe a hormonal brain imbalance in their brain. It's not alcohol, it's not drugs. It could be an imbalance in their hormones, something going on that triggers it in their brain, which puts them in a different category. And so what you're saying is they shouldn't put everybody in the same category. And this is why that you need to be go through behavioral so they can check your behavior, give you the proper tests, go through the proper protocol ahead of time to really seriously check and see what is going on with this person. Is it something that they might have been born with, or something inherited? Is it something triggered by the brain nerves? Is it triggered by hormonal imbalance, or are they having the syndrome because of alcohol, but they're not really? That's not what they are. So it almost seems not. This is not simple, but it kind of sounds like if someone is experiencing this from alcohol and drugs, they need to get help to get off the alcohol and drugs. That's what you're saying. Don't put them in a psychiatric ward, but get them help. Get them help to get off of the drugs and the alcohol. Then you're saying it stopped. That's what happened to you. It stopped.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, London, is sometimes when we use drugs and alcohol, we become psychotic, and we probably have to go to the psych ward to calm down. And then the doctor, a doctor that's not trying to get over is going to say, well, what did you do? Did you use drugs and alcohol? So what I'm saying is that if there are community activists out here, I feel that we should bring awareness to our community to put a stop to doctors treating substance abusers as schizophrenics without a proper evaluation. And there are grants that community activists can apply for to bring awareness, because a lot of people come in and they think they're depressed. They think because the doctor told them they was depressed, you know? And I didn't even know what was going on until I was able to read that Alcoholic Anonymous book in 2018 to become aware of what was going on. And I would like to get together with, community activists and see if even in my community or any community anywhere around the world, to bring awareness to substance abusers to not be treated as schizophrenics, and take it to the city councilman and try to pass a bill, go to Congress and pass a bill, because I was robbed. I thought I was totally robbed. And I was so psychotic. I'm surprised I'm alive. I stay in constant prayer, and I know people. Some medicine knocked me down for so long I couldn't get out the bed. The only thing I could do was get out the bed. God gave me the strength to get out the bed, to go to the doctor and say, listen, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't open my door. I couldn't do nothing from a psychiatric medication. But I was smart enough to, with my disability check, have everything, all my bills come out of my checking account, my rent, my phone, and everything. And I couldn't go grocery shopping. I had to have somebody. The psychiatric medicine, it turns you into a schizophrenic if you are not a schizophrenic. And it robs you. It's like, and if this happened to anybody, I tried to fight for myself, but I would like to, if it happened to anybody, let's try to file a class action lawsuit to sue doctors that done this to us. It was horrifying. It is horrifying. It's horrifying to believe that you are a schizophrenic, to be robbed of your livelihood. I'm not the only one.
So this is where I am, and this is what I would say. First of all, we're listening to Miss Katrina Freeman, who she's in New York right now, that's where she lives. And we're talking to her about the different things that she has gone through. And she wants to inform the community about what she went through, just in case you might be going through something like that or you are totally unaware. And I must say, for the sake of all our Facebook and YouTube and all that, the views and opinions are not those of our company, but we are here to support and just get the word out as to what she's saying. She learned this as a true fact through her personal experience. And the only way I think I would say that what you have been through, if you are to be a blessing to a lot of other people, and I understand, I'm trying to understand, I'm not you, but I'm just saying I'm listening to what you're saying. I feel, I'm listening to your hurt. I'm listening to your pain. I'm listening to the disgust, the betrayal, and the things that you went through that you did not have to go through because of a misdiagnosis. This is all education to us. Just in case somebody is experiencing it now, just in case we have a family member or a friend and you care about them. And so, in other words, there are protocol and special steps that should be taken. In other words, don't go into a place somebody give you a diagnosis and put you on a bunch of medication and you don't really know what's going on. And I think this not only happens with you, with what you're talking about, it happens as a whole in the medical field. And overall, and I do believe it's because of trust. We trust. And you have to learn how to begin to investigate when you go in to find out about things. Just don't go in and say, he said, okay, doc says do this. And you ask questions. It's good. It says, and like you said, some things you didn't know. So now you are here letting people know where you've been. Perhaps next time around, somebody, when they go to a doctor, or if somebody is escorting a loved one to a psychiatrist, to stand in the gap and find out how things are supposed to go. Ask questions. Now, I will say a lot of people call it fall through the cracks. That little piece in there where you're saying you need to start a group, an organization, or somebody that can make people aware so this won't happen. So this is why we need people like you. You're speaking out, because without people doing those kind of things, a lot of people fall through the cracks through many type of issues in the medical field and many other fields, because right in that gray area, nobody is informed, nobody knows. And then on top of that, you build your trust. Now, a lot of people don't trust because something happened to them. So a lot of times we don't go that direction because of fear. This kind of thing that you're talking about kind of brings about fear of trust, being able to trust. So it's a lot going on with the conversation, what you're talking about. And I believe a lot of people can get help. This is bring about awareness. They can watch this again, whoever's listening, so that if you're struggling with any kind of thing, when you go to the doctor, just even if you don't know now, like you said, you didn't know. So I believe with the conversation, if you have any issues, which a lot of people do now, which I even do, if there's anything I want to know about medication, about what are the protocols, you can actually go online these days. You can go online, pull up these medications and see what the benefits are. You can pull up and see what exactly they are for. You can even pull up the doses that you should or should not take. And I will say I've been through some things like that with my family members of being overdosed, and overdose was something, number one, that was one wrong thing. And then again, get something they did not even need that can cause you health problems that you don't even have. So this is a big issue, Ms. Katrina, that you opening up about this one area that you're talking about. It happens a lot in the medical field.
So what I'm saying is that community activists need to get together. They have community solution centers to bring awareness, because some people, like I said, drugs and alcohol can cause you to have schizophrenic syndromes. And if a
Okay.
doctor, a lot of us don't, when we go to the psychiatrist and we tell them what's going on, I went to him and just told him, listen, I'm hearing voices and having hallucinations. He shouldn't have did that. He should have said, are you using drugs or alcohol? He did not say that. That was totally, that wasn't fair. That was awful. That was awful.
So in other words, it's nice to have the doctor have good bedside manner and take time to ask you what are you doing? They should do that. Ask you what are you doing, and then if he had asked you, maybe he would have known what to do. Sometimes we have to remember this, that when we go to doctors, they're all practicing. They're also practicing. It's a practice, and so there's on our end. It's good to try to figure out what's going on. When you're going into a situation, try to check it out. People have faith. And I'm not saying there's all bad doctors at all, but it's good just to know for yourself before you even go in. Ask questions. Look it up online. Now you can look things up online. And if you go to the doctor, you can tell the doctor. I've been to the doctor. He said, well, you need this. And I didn't need that. And when I looked it up online to see what it was something I didn't need. Also, it's something that could harm me if I got it. So next time I went back to the doctor, I told him, he kept get this. I said, no, because I don't need this. Plus it caused these issues. So there's a lot of ways that we can even become more informed. Like what Miss Katrina said, number one, from somebody like her, who's telling you she has experienced all this is like real talk, real truth, real experience that you've had. And I think it's great that you want to share that. And I believe somebody is going to be helped by it. Somebody might be suffering by that right now, or somebody might be thinking, I'm getting ready to go. I'm having issues. I'm going. Now, when they go, maybe they have something in their mind, listening to you, and they're going to say, okay, when I go, the doctor's going to check me out, but I'm going to check the doctor out too. I'm going to ask, you know what I mean? That's something I think we think because of so much faith and belief that doctors know everything. And honestly, they don't always know everything. And so, you know what I'm saying? We go in with faith and trust and that whatever it takes to do, you just do it. But you need to do some research. You need to check it out. Definitely need to be praying about whatever's going on. And all of that helps. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry you went through everything you went through, but look at you now. You came out on the other side. And here now you're here to help other people to be overcomers.
Okay, Londen, let me say something. If you a substance abuser, you ain't thinking about that. I mean, but we speaking for somebody that has somebody to use substance abuser, they should do that for that person. I met a young person and he was experiencing them schizophrenic syndromes. And he lied to the doctor, and a doctor did ask him, was he using drugs and alcohol? And he said no. And he took the medicine. See, the young people, the young generation, some of them probably don't know what drugs and alcohol do to them. But them old people that came before me, that's above 60, they know. They know, because you know what I'm saying? What these things do, because but anyway, some young people, they don't even know. All right, I know somebody that's young and they on all the medication. They blow you up. It does all kinds of things for you, and they give you the medication and they don't even tell you stop drinking, stop doing drugs. If you do this, you're going to keep having these psychosis, these episodes. And if those episodes are terrifying you, like it was me, if you would have told me, I would have stopped. What my main thing is to use your platform is for people, community activists, to get together and bring awareness to substance abusers. You can apply for a grant to bring this awareness to them, because our people should not be treated like this. Because what I think is happening is that my income was controlled. As a cosmetologist, the medication was giving my hands shaking, making my hands shaking. They gave me side effects. It was turning my lips was twitching, my eyes was blinking. It was horrifying. I could not do nothing but depend on the government. I thought I needed the government. I'm outraged at what had happened to me, and this is happening to a whole lot of people. And then, I would go to an agency that hired people like me, and they wanted to hire me permanently, but I was afraid that I would have schizophrenic syndromes, and I was afraid I would bug out on the job, so I would only work temp jobs. It's an outrage at how I was brainwashed to thinking that I was a schizophrenic. But you know what? I was ashamed, but I lived it. I was who the doctor told me I was. And if I would go on a date with somebody, I would tell that person right then and there, I'm a schizophrenic. That was a dumb thing to do, but I wasn't hiding it. But I wasn't a schizophrenic. I was just a substance abuser. It's an outrage. And I believe those people and it's not even a misdiagnosis. For a doctor to tell a substance abuser that they are a schizophrenic, it's not a misdiagnosis. Doctors knew for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years that drugs and alcohol give you schizophrenic syndrome. It was not, I was played. The doctor abused me. The doctor abused the Medicaid system. I was abused by a psychiatrist, and there are plenty of other people that are being abused. And I speak with this topic with outrage. And then there are some, and I can't do this by myself. I mean, I have called tons and tons of lawyers and lawyers. This happened to me. This happened to me. Well, you can't go back to 97. Well, what about when I switched doctors in 2018 and in 2019? What about if I can't go back that far, what about them doctors that did not diagnose me? Them psychiatrists that did not give me a proper evaluation. They just came on. It's like when you have cancer or when you have high blood pressure, they're going to test you. When you have diabetes, and you go to another doctor, they're going to test you to make sure. They ain't going to keep giving you diabetic medication. You got to get a test. You got to have, you got to be properly evaluated. I want to sue. I want to sue the doctors that do that to me and that are doing that to others. I do.
So what I would say, now you speaking out. So it looks like you've already started by just speaking out on this platform. So at this point, you sounds like you can go ahead and get it started. Like get that grant, and get it started.
And if we can't, not, and it is not just about the money. It's about city councilman, whoever is watching this, let's get together in our community and try to pass a bill to make it illegal for a psychiatrist to diagnose a substance abuser without proper evaluation. Before you diagnose somebody with schizophrenic, any psychiatrist should make sure that it's not the drugs and the alcohol. It's an outrage. I have people in my family that are being treated as schizophrenics, and they can't do nothing. You can't even live your life. You can't go out the house. Most people, they can only go to the doctor. I can't explain. You get all kind. It's horrifying. It's terrible. And I'm surprised that I'm alive.
Well, apparently God has brought you this far so you can tell it. So you can help a lot of people.
The medication, I was on a medication called Abilify. It had me, that medication, what happened is make you spend all your money. Some people, they gamble. And they was able to sue that pharmaceutical company. I was spending money like crazy, but the only thing is I had to have receipts proving that that medicine, while I was taking that medicine, that's how I lost that money. Some of that psychiatric medicine, it give you so many side effects that they do have class action lawsuits against these medicines.
Wow, that's something deep right there. Well, Ms. Katrina, our time is running out. We don't have you come back again. But once again, you are listening to Ms. Katrina Freeman speaking out about what happened to her and what could be happening, what is happening to a lot of people, including her family members, so that you can become more aware. We hope you can go back and watch this live video again and listen to what she's saying, and just the awareness of people getting together, getting out there, banding together, and making a change. This is what's called making a change in our community. Just for you speaking out. A lot of people wouldn't even speak out like that, Ms. Katrina, because like you said, people might be ashamed. They might have went through it and they're out of it. But you know, God is using you kind of strong in a lot of different ways to speak out. And you're speaking out for yourself, but you're also speaking out for the people. So we want to thank you once again just for reaching out, want to come on the platforms and let people know what your situation is and about this topic. I'm sure one day you'll be coming back out again, and we are going to say once again, all the views and opinions of this topic is not those of all the social medias or our company, but we are a community company, and when people want to speak out and tell the truth about certain things, then that is what freedom of speech is for. And I appreciate you. We love you, Miss Katrina, and we thank God that He has brought you out. I mean, we can looking at you now, we wouldn't know. You never know what a person has been through by looking at them. So we know God is blessing you. He's working with you. And
thank you, Londen.
Anything else you want to say before we say good night?
Londen, I would just like to thank you so much for your support and allowing me to use your platform. I just love you for it. I love you for your support. And people don't they think it's not a big deal. So what, it happened to me. It is a big deal. Let's get together and file a class action lawsuit. If it has happened to you, find a way to reach out to me on social media or Londen, and let's get together. That's what I had to say. Thank you.
Well, look, tell them how to find you, Katrina.
You can reach me on Facebook, Katrina Freeman, Instagram, or TikTok, Katrina F.
Katrina F. CONTRINA F.
No, COTRINA.
That's right.
That's TikTok. And it's just Katrina Freeman, Instagram or Facebook. Reach out.
Yeah, reach out, contact her. And this might be the beginning of the seed, what they call it, the grassroots of what Miss Katrina is trying to do and to help out in the community and put a stop to these things that are really harmful to people. We love you, Miss Katrina.
Okay, thank you, Londen. We'll talk soon, right?
Yeah, we'll talk again. God bless you, right. and keep being strong.
You too. Thank you. Bye now.
Okay, bye-bye.